ranking all 7 men's Money in the Bank ladder match participants' chances of actually winning the briefcase itself on July 1st in London, England, and becoming Mr. Money in the Bank. And as we saw last night on Monday Night Raw, a 7th man was entered into this Money in the Bank ladder match. No qualification match needed, just a clout, just the name itself. Logan Paul is added to this matchup. So with that said, without further ado, at number 7, I think the man with the least chances of walking out Mr. Money in the Bank July 1st is a member of the Brawlin' Brutes. I'm talking about Butch. I'm talking about the man formerly known as Pete Dunne. And I would love for him to go back to the name Pete Dunne. But ever since his appearance on SmackDown, ever since his appearance on the main roster, Butch has pretty much been a cartoon character. And I mean that in the best way possible. He's been entertaining as hell. He's always put on the matches that we've seen from him from NXT UK, from NXT itself. We know the man can go. It's just that WWE has never given his character his due when it comes to actually being a threat to winning matches and winning championships. And to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on a superstar like Butch at this moment is not possible. His character is not strong enough. And speaking of his character not being strong enough, another one at position number 6 could be number 7. Pretty much these last 3 are interchangeable because they're just there for spots. They're just there for moments. And at number 6, I have the man who should be the leader of this brand new LWO, but isn't because Rey Mysterio is still on the main roster. I'm talking about Santos Escobar. And if you've seen his work on NXT, if you've seen his work with Legado del Fantasma, you know as much as anybody else that they are wasting the LWO on the main roster. They are not giving them the character, the storyline progression, the matches themselves that they need to really progress and really become exactly what Legado del Fantasma was in NXT. And it's a shame. It's a shame that currently the LWO is just a vehicle, or it was just created as a vehicle to give Rey Mysterio even more props during his Hall of Fame induction speech and his ceremony and all of that during WrestleMania weekend. Because the LWO has the potential to be one of the most popular stables in recent WWE memory. That is how big the Latino community that our WWE fans are, and wrestling fans for that matter. Now with that said, again, Santos Escobar, he can go in the ring. He's a fantastic heel. He's been a regularly good babyface so far, but again, these 2 men so far, their character progression has been non-existent over the past few months. And with that said, I gotta talk about number 5, and I'm only putting him a little bit higher because he has a bit more time on the main roster. He has a bit more of an accomplishment, and again, he will be, along with Logan Paul, the man of the match when it comes to spots, just mind-blowing spots. And of course, I'm talking about the one and only, man, I missed that theme song, Ricochet. Ricochet at number 5. Man, I would love for him to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. But again, there are just other characters, other performers in this match that are better positioned than Ricochet is to be Mr. Money in the Bank. And unfortunately, what Ricochet makes up for in high spots and athletic skills and wrestling prowess, he lacks in promos. He lacks in somewhat in-ring charisma, because we know he's got charisma outside of it because, he's engaged to Samantha Irvin, a fantastic ring announcer. So with that said, again, Ricochet at number 5. In these types of matches, really anybody can win it, but those are my last 3 options when it comes to chances as far as this ladder match goes. Pains me to put him right in the middle because they could really push him to the moon if you just have him mow through people. And of course, I'm talking about the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. But I think Nakamura's purpose right now, what they have to do, is get him to a point where he's strong enough to go one-on-one with Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, because that is a match worth paying big money for. So with that said, Nakamura will not be winning the Money in the Bank briefcase this year, at least in my mind. But out of this ranking, he is the one with the most chances out of the bottom 4 that he could walk out with the briefcase. At number 3, wait, I think I forgot to count. Yeah, number 3. It's math. At number 3, again, I gotta give it to the man himself, L.A. Knight. Yeah, the man oozes charisma. You saw him last night on Monday Night Raw. Just, 45 seconds in a promo, laid it down on Logan Paul. The crowd reaction, they went ballistic. I've loved this performer, this superstar, ever since his debut back in TNA Wrestling, all the way back in 2015. But I just don't see him with the briefcase over other performers. Mainly because it would just be too easy. It seems like WWE has finally, their creative has finally noticed that the crowds, the audience love L.A. Knight. Yeah, gotta do that every time. So, at least in my mind, just like how they do their own superstars wrong whenever they're in their hometown, just like how they have them lose, to me right now it seems too easy for them to have finally realized LA Knight's potential and LA Knight's popularity and just give him the briefcase, even though he would be the absolute chef's kiss, Mr. Money in the Bank for this year. I just don't see it right now, and it pains me to say that because I would love it, and he is my favorite, and I'm hoping he wins it. I'm hoping he proves me wrong. But for now, L.A. Knight, yeah, is at number 3. At number 2, Damian Priest. He is a member of the Judgment Day, and it would be such strong storytelling from my point of view to have him be Mr. Money in the Bank, have him win the ladder match. He proved himself at Backlash. He can handle main events. He is the next breakout star on Monday Night Raw. I believe that. And Seth frickin' Rollins needs to keep going up against the Judgment Day in the very near future. You put him up against Damian Priest, and you build up some dissension amongst that group finally, after a year plus. With Finn Balor, I don't think he's going to dethrone Rollins at Money in the Bank, so Priest winning the briefcase, possibly cashing in on Rollins, depending on how they accommodate the matches. That could happen. That could build up the dissension in the group that we need. But again, Damian Priest has all the potential to be a main event player very, very soon on Monday Night Raw, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, at number 1, you all hate this. I don't particularly hate it. I just think that there was different ways to go through with it. But again, it is what it is. The man that just added himself last night to the Money in the Bank ladder match, I believe, now has become the favorite in terms of WWE chances to win the briefcase and become Mr. Money in the Bank, just because of the headlines, just because of the amount of heat he will get, just because you never actually know when Logan Paul is in the building. He's not a main roster member. He's not on competition every single week. So that gives it that element of unpredictability. But again, just the amount of heat, the headlines, the social media interactions, the clicks, the interactions of everything about him being added this late into the match, everything about his star power, his name power, his heat that he has, not only with the audience in the arena, but also in the IWC, I think that would be WWE's biggest middle finger to the IWC, and we just know that they love to do that. So with that said, that's my ranking at this moment in time. Like I said, number 7, Butch. Number 6, Santos Escobar. Number 5, Ricochet. Number 4, Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 3, L.A. Knight. Yeah. Number 2, Damian Priest. And number 1, Logan Paul. Although, if you ask me, if I'm a betting man, if I'm willing to put my money on anything, on anyone on this match, as you will, because it's Money in the Bank, I have to give it to, of course, L.A. Knight. Yeah. So with that said, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions on who's going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match? Who do you think it's going to win? Who do you want to win this match? Leave it in the comment section below. So with that said, tune in later on tonight to the USA Network for another episode of NXT. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.